fallout due to heavy rains, not only in Punjab and in other states up north, but also the impact it's had on Gurugram. Huge traffic jams, heavily waterlogged roads, vehicles breaking down, scores of people stuck as heavy rains hit Gurugram on Monday afternoon. Keeping indicators of heavy rain in mind, all corporate and private institutes have been advised to ask the employees to work from home. The schools have been advised to conduct online classes, which they are. Now, those are the visuals you have, and that is that one shocking video that we're bringing you from last evening. This is Gurugram, the highway that takes you from New Delhi to Gurugram there on your screens, where cars are packed back to back, and people have complained that they had to be on the road for as long as 4 hours to 6 hours. Getting home was a huge issue for them. We're going to try and connect with our reporter now to bring you the latest. But like we said, schools have gone online, preempting more rains today. There is an orange alert in most areas of the National Capital Region. And those were the people who were hoping to get home on time, which itself is a hard task given the traffic that one has to face on the roads to Gurgaon and from Gurgaon through the National Highway into Delhi. And thousands of people stuck there really, bumper to bumper, waiting for some kind of reprieve. Gargi now joins me from the newsroom. We're also going to try and get a word from our reporter on the ground. The reason I have Gargi with me today is because Gargi has been living in Gurgaon for over a decade now. And Gargi, even I'm a resident of Gurgaon. We anyway have to fight huge traffic going and coming back home every day from Gurugram. But I just want to ask you as a resident and not as a reporter for a moment here, how difficult is it really, and how difficult is it getting? These scenes are recurring. These scenes are often seen now on social media, and we see it on the roads to work and back. There's no reprieve really.
That's right, Vedika, absolutely. Traffic jams on these highways is an everyday occurrence. People who travel from Delhi to Gurugram and vice versa experience it every single day. Of course, with the rain, yesterday was an absolute nightmare given, those visuals that we saw, as you said, of bumper-to-bumper traffic. And Gurugram has really been dealing with a lot of issues, be it the, garbage that is lying around everywhere. We've seen a lot of citizens complaining about it. The civic service is really a huge mess. And this is just a symbol of that continued municipal mess, that civic mess that is there, given that, it's a city, or it's a suburb, a city rather, with so many big companies there from across the world. There are several headquarters that are opened there. We have the most expensive flats, 100 crore flats. That's something I think across India everybody knows about. But just take a look at the pathetic state of the infrastructure. There's garbage everywhere, there are cows everywhere, and the minute it rains, it becomes, as many joke, it becomes like a Venice. Recently, there was a report about possibly a Disney World being opened in Gurgaon. I think all the residents were just horrified at the thought of it and saying, just at least give us the basics. Clean roads, roads that do not fill up with water at the slightest rain that takes place. It's obviously a lot to do with the drainage system. It needs a really thorough look at it, because every year we see, what happened yesterday, and then somehow when things are all right, everybody seems to forget, including the authorities, and that's also on the citizens of Gurugram.
Gargi, do stay with me. I believe Shreya Ghosh is also joining me live from Gurugram, the city that has seen a huge traffic snarl yesterday. Shreya, I do see you with authorities. Tell us more.
That's right. I have with me Gurugram's traffic DCP, Mr. Mohan. Sir, outside we can see the road is filled with potholes. I will ask my camera person to zoom in and show. It continues to rain, although the traffic movement is slow right now. But yesterday we saw a nightmarish traffic snarl, which continued for almost 4 hours. I know the traffic staff, they were deployed there till midnight. It was a Herculean task to remove those cars, that faced breakdown. But sir, what action is the traffic police taking in tandem with MCG to, tackle these critical spots of waterlogging, be it Ifko Chowk, Rajiv Chowk? What action is taking to, prevent water?
As I have also told you, there are 123 points we have identified in collaboration with GMD and Municipal Corporation. So there are teams are deployed. And we have, for example, there is a work distribution there also. Traffic police, the function is to keep the traffic moving, keep the vehicles moving. Our main so sometimes what happens, because of the water problem and all these things, so the vehicles stop. There is a breakdown, there is an obstruction, we have to remove those obstructions. If there is a breakdown, then we have various towing cranes available. We have 32 towing cranes and 3 hydras with us. So what they do is that they if there is a vehicle that has been breakdown, they will remove that from the area, and so that the traffic movement can be possible. Second part is, if there is a major issue, for example, if a truck has upturned, so we use hydras to remove that truck from the pathway. Third part is that in collaboration with the GMD and municipal corporation, we have various pumps operating at these points.
Do you think those pumps are not sufficient in number? Because we continue to see streets completely waterlogged despite, scarce rainfall. And so we have our, fellow journalist Vedika who has a question for you.
Yes, I have a question for the police officer. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My question to you is, there's so much rage on the roads. We're seeing recurring scenes, those videos that we're seeing. I'm going to ask that question again. Sir, my question to you is, I'm a Gurugram resident and a lot of my colleagues also are. All right, we'll go back to the police officer. There seems to be a connectivity issue there. But we also have Shubham Gupta with us. He's a Gurugram resident. Shubham, I believe you were stuck in the traffic for about 6 hours yesterday. Where do you live? How far is it from the spot that you were leaving and going to? And tell us about the nightmare you face. 6 hours? That's incredibly shocking.
Yes. So I reside in Sector 48, Vipulwari, and my office is in Cyber Hub, and my wife's office is in downtown. So I started at 4:30 from Cyber Hub. I went to downtown, which is hardly 1.5 kilometers, which generally should not take more than 10-15 minutes.
Wow.
It took me 1 hour, 20 minutes to reach there, first of all. Then around 5:35 or 5:40, I left downtown. And then it took me, I reached home around 10:15. So you could understand. And the road was jam-packed. It took me more than 3 hours to reach exit 10 from the highway. And from exit 10, it's the Sona Road, which was again jam-packed. So here, the situation was, I could not exit. I could not take the exit for my house on Sector 48. I have to take the flyover again till Sona. Took a U-turn from Sona. Couldn't, and then I was then again stuck on Vatika Chowk. There was no movement at all. I was there for around 30 to 45 minutes. I was standing there. There was no movement at all. Then I had to take a detour again on Southern Peripheral Road, went back there, took a U-turn again, and then from the back side of Southern Peripheral, then to Captain Chandan Marg.
So Shubham, so you're saying, if you can hear me, you took 6 hours to cover 3 kilometers. Does this happen often with you? Because we've seen the rains, we've seen the downpour in Gurugram. In the last 2 months, this is perhaps the second time this has happened. Are you just tired of living as a resident in Gurugram? Are you thinking of relocating, moving closer perhaps to your office space? I hear this from so many people in that Millennium City, which has offices of MNCs in every nook and corner of the prime roads.
Yeah, so just a correction there. My home is around 12 kilometers. So
right.
Yeah, it took me 6 hours to cover that 12 kilometers. But I have a story from my from my office colleague, who is just 3 kilometers away from office within DLF phase 4. It took him more than 3 hours to reach his home. So even 3 kilometers he could not cover well in time.
All right, Shubham, do stay with me. I believe we have DCP Traffic, Mr. Mohan, with us again, joining us live. Mr. Mohan, I just want to very quickly ask you a couple of questions. First, thank you for doing what you do on the roads of Gurugram, but they're very angry residents. I'm one of them, my colleague Gargi is one of them. We just spoke to another resident who covered 12 kilometers in about 6 hours. This is becoming a recurring issue. I know the state government has to work with civic bodies. I know that the police is not the only one to respond to these angry comments and statements, but what do you have to say about the roads of Gurugram and what we saw last night?
Okay, thank you for having me, NDTV. And so I want to tell you about last day's situation. As you know, the rainfall is going on right now also. Yesterday also, we had the rainfall and the office timings colliding. So people left at the same time when it was raining. So because of that, there was heavy traffic on the roads of Gurugram. So we have deployed various mechanisms in order to ensure that the vehicle keeps on moving. Only when vehicles keep on moving can the traffic jam can be resolved or the congestion can be reduced. So for that, yesterday we received 470 plus distress calls where people across the city called at our control room number, and based on that we responded to those calls. Then we also removed 280 plus vehicles which were broken down because of the heavy rainfall or some other reasons. And our traffic staff of around 1190 were deployed on the streets of Gurugram in order to ensure that the vehicles keep on moving. There were places like Subhash Chowk, there were places like Rajiv Chowk where there was some waterlogging, but the water was below the knee. So it was very important that our staff goes there and guide the vehicle to move in that particular direction. And in this process, I also want to appreciate my team members who keep on working. So they had a shift from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So their shift was extended till 11:30 p.m.
All right,
and
all right,
we worked
DCP,
on the
thank
roads
you so much for joining
on the
us
ground,
live there.
and we